Hello folks, and welcome to another video. I hope this one finds you enjoying life. Interesting perspective in which to start the video, isn't it? Behind the barbed wire fence. Maybe this is a video for all of the incarcerated viewers. I'm sure I've got a few out there serving part of your sentence, watching this channel. You've been punished for bad behaviour, you naughty boys. Anyway, let me climb the ladder and peer above the fence. Folks, that is the Longitude on thy screen. Citation Longitude, which has received an update as part of the AAU2 beta. And I'll cover that during the course of today's flight. I thought I haven't flown it for a little bit, so I thought I'd take it for a bit of a spin. And I thought I'd do something a little different here on the channel. We're flying in the dark. This might be the start of a new series. The Flying Dad After Dark. There you go. I don't want to go behind that fence. I'm almost... I feel like I'm... Oh, there we go. We've got it positioned nicely there in the corner. So I've cut through the fence, and now we're on the ramp proper. Here we go. We're going to steal the keys and jump into a Longitude and fly it to freedom. Shall I show you the flight plan? This is a well, it's a special video every time I make a video, special in the fact that I actually finish something. The sim doesn't crash. But special for a particular group, nay, a cohort of viewers who hail from this part of the world. Let me explain as I show you the flight plan. So we're in Brazil today, folks. One of my favourite places in all the world. IRL and simulated world. And a shout out to my Brazilian viewers. Or should I say, oi, tudo bem? I hope you are muito bem, or is it muito bom? I'm never quite sure. I think if you're asked tudo bem, essentially how are you, or literally, or well, I think you're supposed to respond with muito bom, very good. So if you're asked bem, you respond bom. If you're asked bom, do you respond bem? Never quite worked that out. I've only been liaising, you might say, with Brazilian folks for, I don't know, a few years. Anyway, if someone could clarify that, appreciate it. But a shout out to you all. I know I do have, for some reason, a bunch of viewers that hail from Brazil, and quite a substantial little flight simming community over there. What I've noticed over the years. So yeah. Good to have you on board, folks. So, today, we begin our journey in the capital, Brasilia, main airport up there. I'm going to fly a SID down to a waypoint called Comgi, and then it's joining an airway from Oblom, and then heading in a generally southerly direction, sort of to the west of Belo, and then down into everyone's favourite place in Brazil. Although I don't know that it's my favourite. No, it's not. It's not my favourite place, but it's probably the most famous place in Brazil, isn't it? Rio de Janeiro, and specifically we're going to land runway 20 left at Santos Dumont and take advantage of some fantastic payware scenery by Paulo Ricardo for Santos Dumont. So we've got freeware, custom freeware even, for Brasilia. There'll be a link to that in the description, and payware, good quality payware for Santos Dumont. Journey time of, well, probably about an hour and a half here in the Longitude. Distance of 534 nautical miles. Fairly direct route once we get sort of the SID out of the way. We'll have a look at the update to this aircraft. Received a few fixes and things as part of the AAU2 beta. We'll have a look at that en route. Maybe have a general chat about what's happening in Brazil. She don't know what's happening in Brazil these days. Bit out of the loop in terms of local news. Maybe someone can fill me in the comments. But yeah, that's the plan, folks. Usual sort of video length of 20-something odd minutes. Usual sort of rubbish and fumbling and general incompetence and incoherence. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you know what it's about. We begin our journey in the dark. By the time we get to Rio, we should have some light. That's the plan anyway. Let's go flying, folks. So jumping inside, getting some lights on. First thing I notice is that we've lost the ability to import the flight plan. So the flight plan that was exported out a little nav map and selected in that, screen where you select the flight plan here in the sim is all for essentially a waste of time because it hasn't brought any of the information across. So I've got to plug that in manually. I'll go ahead and do that off camera, and the next time you hear my voice, we will be on a runway. 11 right, I think, was the plan. Alright, so after a really long taxi, which I won't include in the final edit, you're welcome, we have arrived at the bottom of runway 11 right. Now, before we get this thing off the ground, I know one of the changes to this aircraft was the enablement of a different style of flight director. So I'm going to guess that's down here. It is. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. I can't actually zoom. Oh. Anyway, there's a flight director setting that I think was kind of disabled or greyed out or something in the previous release. You now can choose between single Q, which is what you see here by default, and dual Q, which you get the bars or the T. I'm going to run with dual Q because I don't need a reason, just because. I like it. I'm used to it. I know what I like and I like what I know. It's simulation. Do what you bloody want. Let's do this thing. Dual Q autopilot. Now, what else we need to worry about here is auto throttle, which I think is that button there. Yep. Might need a little bit more power, fella. There we go. Now, I do have a custom sound set for this aircraft. I don't know whether it's working with this version, though. The sounds for me feel a little bit but it's very early in the morning and it may just be my ears haven't warmed up yet. I'm not sure. I'll link to the sound set. I have featured it, I think, in a previous video. It's the guy who does fantastic work over there, a Patreon subscription, and you get access to a whole lot of really good quality sound work for this sim and for those of you that are flying an X-plane. FT Sim Plus is the name of the guy. So runway 11 right. Interesting contours of this airport. I'm guessing that's how it is in real life, and the freeware developer has just run with it, I think. So 3.5, we've got local barrow set, we've got flaps set, stabilizer trim is set. I think we're pretty much right to go. I think. We'll just zoom out here on the display. Our first waypoint is Kotvu, which is 12 miles away, which is there, and then it's a right-hand turn. Yeah, we're good. We'll just zoom that out about 5 miles. I like 5 miles. The other display is fine, although I'd prefer a little bit more zoom on that one. Zoom out. There we go. There you can see more of the route. Okay, I think we're pretty much right to go. I can't get the landing lights to work in this aeroplane, or just about any aeroplane. Something to do with my hardware, I'm guessing. I'm not entirely sure. So heading bug aligned. We're going to rotate at 114. That's quite heavy. That's quite high for this aeroplane. I'm carrying a bit of gas, probably that I don't need to, in more ways than one. Folks, shall we do it? Let's do it. Bring those throttles in. Alright, we'll call that power set. Hold enunciating. We're good. Airspeed should come alive momentarily. There it is, 40 knots. Light breeze by the looks of it. Looking to rotate at 114. Which is there. Let's go. Straight up she goes. Oh, she wants to sink again. Gear can come up. Runway heading, fella. Climbs away so beautifully. Retrim. The flaps coming up. Autopilot can come in. And also we want nav hold. FMS hold. There we go. Thanks, Georgie. And we should have gone for IAS hold as well, which puts us into climb mode, which gets a really serious pitch up in order to try and maintain 200 knots. Sorry folks, a little bit out of the loop here with this aeroplane. We fly too many aeroplanes. Do you also find yourself suffering from that disease? I'm a little bit loud there on it. Let's go down a little bit for you. It's actually way out of Brasilia, folks. On climb today, flight level 430. I think we're looking pretty good weather-wise. Got a few of the external lights on. I can go upstairs. There we go. Oh, I thought for a minute there I'd forgotten to ding the packs, but I had actually remembered that. Taxi lights are on. I probably don't need them on anymore, but they're the only source of lighting that I have. I can turn them off. There we go. Do any of these work? I can't get external lights to, most of the external lights to work. So we've got a constraint of below 9,000 obviously. So we've throttled back. There we go. Well done, Georgie. Bring that sound back in now. Not back inside. So it's held the constraint well. We've got VNAV activated. Yeah. What is our exact constraint? Where is it? So Kotvu below 9, BR039 below 9, and then we've got SIGA. Oh, so we're going to be held down quite low for a while. That's all right. We probably should have hit standard Barrow, which is going to screw things up a little bit. Sorry, Georgie. I should have been on top of that. You're just climbing too fast for me, mate, and I'm too old and slow to keep up. There we go. Right-hand turn towards our next waypoint. Not painting any weather. Not seeing any weather ahead of us. Beautiful aeroplane, isn't it? Beautiful looking aeroplane. Great performance. It goes far, it goes fast, it goes high. It's everything you want in a bizjet. Anyway, folks, I'll join you sometime during the cruise. We'll have a chat about something, and before we arrive at our destination over there in Rio later on this morning. Alright, so settled nicely in the cruise, flight level 430. I think we're about halfway there, or close enough to it. If I can bring that up with my... I'm really liking this little panel that I can pop up. So where are we? Currently en route. Pun up. Getting along the ground at 477. And yeah, so we've got about 40 minutes to touchdown. Everything is going well. Shall we check the weather at Santos Dumont? I'm glad you asked. And what have we got? So we've got VFR, which is nice. So 20 left will be our runway. 9 knots of headwind, 4 knots of crosswind. Yep. Southerly breeze 10 knots. Sounds good. 1018. Visibility is greater than 5.4. Clouds 2.5 few. All looks good to me. Runway 20 left will be the go. Jumping back inside. There we go. Everything just beautiful. What I've noticed here, and I don't know whether it's been changed in AAU2 or not, is that there was almost a transparency with the displays. Like it's as if the nose area or the external model was letting in some light, particularly noticeable when you had plenty of fluffy stuff in front of you. you'd actually see the clouds in your displays, or at least on my rig you do. Now we don't have any clouds here at the moment, which could explain why I'm not seeing it. But yeah, there was like I don't know how to describe it other than that. I could actually see the clouds in my display, and that's not what you should be seeing. Synthetic terrain, yes, but you shouldn't be seeing the actual clouds. I don't think that made any sense, but in my mind it did. And I'll take that at this time of the morning. Should we have a look at what the AAU2 update brought to this aircraft? Let me bring that page up for you. Alright, here are the official beta release notes that were published the other day. We'll just focus today on the changes applicable to the Longitude. So that would be all of this stuff. So I have blown up the text for you. Hopefully that is legible. I'll get rid of this menu, and that might make it even better. Does that make it even better? Here we go. That's even better. So, fixed thrust reverser animations. I didn't notice them. Added mitigation. It's a big word. To prevent the engine and APU graphics on the fuel blah 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 from rendering incorrectly. Okay. The rudder can now be powered by both A and B hydraulic systems and no longer requires the left engine to be running. Good stuff. Bearing pointer information no longer missing. Improper placement of the nav DME information banner. Fixed a bug where bearing Changing the selected airspeed while auto throttle is on no longer causes the auto throttle to command sudden changes in throttle level position. I think I did notice that. Added support. That's the one I demonstrated earlier, folks. That's the big one for me. And the PFD roll indicator no longer renders the roll scale arc. So they're the changes that have been brought into the Longitude. No flight model changes there. Those of you that are looking for such things. I like the flight model. I don't think there's much of a problem with it. Yeah, quite happy with it. It feels good to me. Yeah, one of my favourite aircraft in the sim. Really glad that I forked out the cash to upgrade to the Premium Deluxe Edition and pick this one up a few months ago. And quite a bit of flying in it. Not for a while. In a while. A couple of weeks. Hasn't been that long, but yeah, it's nice to get back into it. So we continue the journey, folks. About 30 minutes odd to run down into Santos Dumont. I will see you again for the approach segment. Alright, so on descent now, down through about flight level 230. We do have the fluffy stuff building as we continue our journey ever southbound towards Santos Dumont. We have plugged in an improvised approach, very common here on the channel. Basically I want to be overhead Galion, the VOR there at 3000, which according to my calculations gives us, that's about 9 miles to run down towards 20 left at Santos Dumont. So yeah, that puts us in the slot, so to speak. It gives us a fighting chance at a decent visual approach, I think. But yeah, not flying any sort of official procedures here at all. There are many different approaches into Santos Dumont. The one that sort of has you landing the opposite direction on the 02 left, or 02 right, sort of has you coming over, sort of making that late turn, left-hand turn, before you hit Sugarloaf and over the beach and then, yeah, down onto the 02s. That's the sort of famous approach, I think, into Santos Dumont. We might try and set things up and do one of those again before too long. I like doing one of my favourite runs of any in the simulator, in any simulator over the years, has been to do the run from what's it called, Congonhas, down in Sao Paulo, and up here to Santos Dumont, and then land on 02. Yeah, good fun. Doesn't take long in a jet either. You sort of get up into the mid-20s, and then it's time to come down again, and then you approach, and never better represented than in this sim. Great fun, good fun at night as well. So yeah, we continue the journey, folks, down towards Santos Dumont. What I thought just before we fly and approach, because I kind of need to focus on that, I think. I thought I'd kind of issue a general, well, two things. One is a thank you for the support provided to me on this channel. We're nudging 2,000 subscribers on this channel. Now, for some people, you'll be thinking, so what? Big deal, 2,000 is nothing. And if you compare it to some of the other big names, the rock stars of flight simulation on the tube, 2,000 is a small number. But to an old fella here who's sitting here speaking to you now, 2,000 is a big deal. It's all relative. Without 2,000 subscribers, without each and every one of you and the contributions and what you share with me, the interactions, the support, the kindness that you show, this channel doesn't exist. This channel has no reason to exist. So I want to say thank you for that support. And in recognition of hitting the 2K, I don't know when we'll get there, probably sometime 2028. Subscriber growth is slow on this channel. I don't do much in the way of marketing and promotion, and my videos don't really seem to sell the channel too well sometimes. I don't follow the script, you know, that you're supposed to follow for building a presence or whatever the bloody thing is. I just make videos and hope that people get some enjoyment out of them. But in recognition of the 2K mark, I thought I'd put it out there to you guys. What would you like to see for that sort of video? And I'm thinking probably something like I'm putting it out there like a bloody a pianist on a cruise ship. You know, there's always one in the bloody lounge, you know, who takes requests, you know, and can kind of play a whole lot of different tunes, a whole lot of different genres. Not particularly well. I kind of see myself as a flight sim pianist on a cruise ship. Put it out there, I can probably make it sound like I know what I'm doing some of the time. Put it out there as I'll take requests. What would you like to see? Is there a flight you'd like me to make? An aeroplane you'd like me to fly? I'd prefer if it was an aeroplane that I already have. And I've got quite a few, but by all means I don't have them all. A little bit selective in how I choose to spend my monies. But yeah, is there a routing that you'd like to see? Particular type of flight? Maybe we could also do a bit of Q&A. I don't know if people are actually interested in that stuff. I'm not. It's my life, and I struggle to find interest, folks, to get through the day sometimes. But if there's questions that you have that I haven't answered, or aviation related questions, don't try and get too personal, folks. I'm a very private person, very protective of my own privacy and that of my family, and yeah, I'm not going to get personal. So if there's an aviation related question that you'd like me to answer, put it in the comments to this video or any video, and if there's enough of them, I might add a bit of a Q&A to that sort of, 2,000 subscriber special edition. Anyway, just putting it out there, folks. I'll next see you for an approach to Santos Dumont. Alright, so Rio appeareth before us, folks. This is Galeon Airport here. Sugarloaf, Christie up here. City of Rio, the bridge, all that sort of stuff. What we're going to do is give Georgie a rest at this point. And take flaps 2 as well, quite early. Get ourselves slowed down. We do need to get down and slow down a little bit. And we'll go into, we'll get rid of that auto throttle as well. Runway 20 left is the plan, slowing down to 200 knots now. What you might hear in the background, folks, is the birds have come awake. They've woken up, managed to get sort of 80% of the flight in before they decided to chime in. Get rid of that flight director as well. Flashing up inner marker, that's to one of the runways there at Galeon. The bridge, of course. Niteroi on that side, Rio on this side. Beautiful city of Rio de Janeiro. There it is, beautifully represented here in the sim. And this particular airport, Santos Dumont, got the Paulo Ricardo treatment in previous versions of the Microsoft Sim and in Prepared, and enjoyed it very much. And when it became available for this sim, said, "Thank you very much, sir. I'll take it." And what we need to do is give ourselves a bit of a fighting chance. So we'll manufacture a right base here, a little bit. We're at 3,000. We are high, without any question. We might even take gear to help us slow down and get down. We hug the shoreline of the island here. Take a shot out the right hand side. See the runways there. The cable car and all that sort of stuff is modelled as part of this, well, I'm guessing it's part of this scenery. I think it is. Into 170 knots now. Slow to about 150 as we turn for home. There we go. Nice easy turn onto final runway 20 left. Take the front view. We've got that sorted out. 153 knots now. And we'll go flaps full over the bridge. Through the centre line, and definitely high. We'll take full flap now. Need to get us down to an approach speed of 116 as our VREF. So we want to be about, what, 120. Big stutter. You could even call that a pause as scenery loads in. I can't blame the traffic for that one. Alright, slowing down now. Slowing down, getting down. We've got a crosswind from the left-hand side. Need to get it on pretty early here. Shortish runway. And thanks to the big buckets here on the Longitude, we do pull it up pretty well. There we go. Retrim. We'll continue. We should see a red light come in before too long. Got that speed now, just retrimming. Still a little high. Where's that red light? There it is. Just did 2 reds before too long. There it is. I don't want to get too slow. Speed nailed. Everything's good. Gear down, flaps down, and all that sort of stuff. 20 left, Santos Dumont. Oh, that's a very long landing here. Reverses out. Yeah, floated that one. Reverses back in. We get flaps up as we take the exit. There you go, folks. Welcome to Santos Dumont. The local time is about an hour and 20 minutes after we departed. That's as accurate as you're going to get. Folks, thanks for your support and thanks for your company in another video. This has been a look at the changes that have been pushed through in the most recent update, AAU numero 2. Until we next meet, stay safe, enjoy your simming, and bye for now.